you're still here with me.
Welcome back to the Bud and Roach show. That was just Eric Ariola. Say hello to the people, Eric.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you guys for listening, for tuning in. I really, really appreciate that. And what's up, Bud and Roach? How are you guys doing?
We
Doing
are
good,
fantastic,
man.
bro.
Doing good, bro. Thanks for coming on.
Good. No problem. I hope you're having a very good day.
Always a
Beautiful
hot
weather,
day in
so-
Always a hood day, man. You know, I was in the crib earlier rocking out to some MJ putting the show together and shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That is definitely what's up.
Eric, now, like
Yeah.
I mentioned right before we played your song, you are one of my co-stars on the web series Pale Blue Light. And right now, this show is at a point where people are looking at it, people are investing in it, and we're about to shoot episode 2. So just kind of give the listeners an idea of what Pale Blue Light is. They're tired of hearing me say it. Let it come from you.
Okay. All right, so to make it really simple, basically it's about a guy who inherits a record label from his dad along with his brother. And so the father had this like salsa label back in the 70s or whatever, but now they want to update it. And so the son wants to turn it into like this hip hop label, but kind of new, fresh, just make it different than the whole mainstream thing. And I and Alex play his best friend. And Alex plays like the rock side of things, like later on in the next couple episodes will be like the music go-to people of what it is that we do. So if you just heard my song "Still Here with Me," it'll get to you that I sing R&B, and so that's what I do on the show. I'm really excited about it. We had a great time shooting it, and we just had a meeting. What was it, Friday? A production meeting, and I just can't wait. I'm not allowed to talk too much about it. Just can't wait though. Really excited.
Now, I take this show very seriously. And even though I know you, I had to dig up some dirt on you because you're coming on the show. So I know that you studied communication arts at Marymount Manhattan College.
Oh, you're good. Yeah.
Tell us, how was the experience at Marymount, and what are your thoughts on college? We here at the Bud and Roach show, you know, college isn't for everybody. None of us went to college. Well, I went to college 3 times and dropped out 3 times. But that's a different story. We don't feel that college is a necessity to be successful. Now, being that you went to college and you graduated, and for those of you who wanted to check it out, you just YouTube Eric Ariola. You'll see his graduation video. I've watched it 1,000 times.
That's funny. That is funny.
Tell us the college experience. How was it like for you?
Well, to be completely honest, I personally enjoyed my experience. Like, and I'm not even just saying that to sound like a poster kid for college. Like, if I didn't, I would say I didn't, but I did. I just think that gave me a lot more. Like, I think that sometimes in life, like if you are meant to do something, sometimes you have to go through a lot of battles to get it, right? And so I always felt like I wanted to act, I wanted to do music, but I felt like it would never happen unless I kind of climbed this like wall. And that wall had to have been school. I just felt like if I would have focused, some people focus all of their lives on their art, and they never really, not that they don't get nowhere, but they don't get to where they want to go, just because there's something else that they were supposed, some sort of school or skills that they were supposed to build somewhere else in order to get to that level. And so I felt like the only way that I was ever going to be successful as an actor was going to school. It has nothing to do with the academic part of it. Well, I mean, in a lot of ways it does. But what I'm saying is it was just one of those bridges in my life where I was like, if I don't get over that, then I won't be able to get into the next thing just because I won't be able to handle it. I don't know. I think that was the case for me. Like you said, a lot of people, you know, I think now people are being bombarded with student debt and all of those, you know, those pieces on the news or whatever. But I think that it's one of the best investments you can make. Sometimes, like, and over a period of time, I graduated, it's a year now. So right now it looks like, okay, I still have debt and all this other stuff. Not a lot, but I still have debt. But over the course of some time, I think it'll be I know that it will be a great decision. Yeah.
Okay.
See, it worked out for you, but then you got the people who graduate and right after the week after they graduate, they have a bill the size of a fucking mortgage.
Yes.
So it doesn't work for everybody, but you know it's very good.
I
that
will
it
say
worked for
this:
you.
that the day after graduation, I was literally working on Pale Blue Light. Like literally the day after. That's how I know. Like sometimes a voice just God speaks to me, and I just feel like I just know when I'm making the right decision. And the 4 years that I was there, I just knew that I was supposed to be there. And literally the confirmation came when the next day I was working. You get what I'm saying? So I get for some people why they would say it's not for them. It's a lot. I used to think it would be for anybody, but while I was in it, I was like, yeah, it's not for just anybody. If you have all of these like skills, determined, all of this stuff, then you'll be able to get through it. You know what I mean? But like, if it's not for people, I don't want to make somebody feel uncomfortable or anything like that. I just think that it's one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Now, you've appeared in TV, you've been in commercials, you've been in film, you've acted in theater, you've been involved in casting. And I think the most interesting thing that I've seen is that you did a voiceover for Grand Theft Auto 4, The Lost and the Damned. We were talking about that.
Yeah, I saw that when you showed me your little quick bio here. I saw that. I'm like, The Lost and the Damned. That's not The Lost and the Damned. And I mean, it basically was, man. That's kind of cool, bro.
Tell us about the experience of getting the voiceover done for Grand Theft Auto.
I mean, like you know, it was. I don't know how to explain that. It feels like a lot of these things, and I'm sure Alex, you know this, that you, and then you just kind of like move on. You know what I mean? It was a day that I just worked one day, but I was there really long, read off a script, you know, just was working with management at the time, really good people, and auditioned for it, got it, and just was there and part of video game history. I never even played the game. It was really weird when my cousin started playing it, but yeah, I don't play it.
That was an amazing game, just so you know.
I'm glad to know. Honestly, I don't know because I never played it, but I'm glad to know that. I'm really glad to know that.
I think I'm interested in bringing you back on the show for a short segment after you play the game. I want to bring you back on the show. We do about 5-10 minutes, and I want your experience, the Eric Ariel experience of Grand Theft Auto 4, because it's almost like Johnny Depp. I was watching an interview not too long ago. Johnny Depp was on the late night show with Letterman, whatever, and he told Letterman that he doesn't watch his own movies. Now, to a certain degree, I understand that, but if you do a voiceover for a video game, I personally would try to at least play the video game. I want to see how I did.
Yeah, I love to. I'd be playing it, and I'd be sitting there, I'd be like, yo, that's me.
No, I've been one of those people. Even though I sing, I've always been one of those kind of people that was like, oh, I don't really want to hear myself. It's so weird to see yourself like even on TV and stuff like that. But I got over that. But it's just I don't really worry about it. I think one day I'll sit down and watch everything, or the things that I've done, I should say. But other than that, to me, it's just like one thing. We got to move on to the next. We got to find the next job. I've always been like that. That's the hood side of me, and hence hood ratchetness. We just got to move the hustle. And not worry about those things. But yeah, I'll play and I'll come back and we can talk about it. Most definitely.
That's one of the things I want to talk to you about. Hood Ratchetness TV. Where'd you come up with the idea for this?
Okay, really quickly, I'll say that I was writing a script, right? And it was kind of sad. And I was just like, dang, I need some like comedic relief in my life. And I just thought about like hood ratchetness, but I didn't really know how to phrase it or what to do with it. But one thing that I was always doing was I would write these crazy statuses on Facebook. And people would always like hit like or they would comment. And then one day I just said, well, if I make a page about this, are you guys going to like jump on there? Like, are you going to follow that page? And then it just took a couple of people saying, yeah, I would definitely check your stuff out. And then I was like, all right, we'll make a page. We made a page. We made a YouTube page. We made it. Now it's a lot going on. But there's an Instagram. It's all of that good stuff. But it really turned into a community that I'm so proud of. My Hood Ratchetness family is, those are the most supportive people you will ever meet in this whole entire life. I gotta shout them out. I have to. Not right now. But yeah, Hood Ratchetness in a.
Go ahead, man. Shout them out
there.
now, brother. Get their names out there, bro. This is your segment.
All right, most definitely. Yes. Okay. Starting with Amin Ralph, Jamel Malik, Alessandro Acanero, Candice Cruz, Anna Castro, Rhodey Wilson, Sabinda Abro, Yoritza Agramonte, my cousin Jose Martinez, and Melanie Acosta. Thank you guys for hitting like, and thanks to the whole Hood family. Like, I can't do it without them. I don't work with a lot of people in terms of Hood Ratchetness, but at the same time I do because I really take a lot of input from a lot of people. They email stuff. they text stuff, and it's a real community effort. Yeah, and they're listening right now, so I'm really grateful for them. Really grateful.
Now, I've been tracking the Hood Ratchetness thing, and I gotta say it's fucking hilarious. Like it's good to just be able to turn on your Instagram and get something funny that you know is gonna be funny because you deliver good stuff. Now,
I'm glad. Thank you.
I see that you put a lot of work into Hood Ratchetness, just like we put a lot of work into the Bud and Roach show vlog and the live radio show and all that. You know, we're constantly, promoting and networking with people. Now, we just played one of your songs off of your mixtape.
Yeah, my status.
When you put the mixtape together, did you put as much effort into it as you did building the Hood Ratchetness? Because that
sounds like a trick question. I think I put more effort into that mixtape project than I did anything else, than I did my thesis statement for college. Now, I think it took me a long time to do it. To be honest, it took me a long time to do it. I just wanted everything to be right. Like, I was like, people don't really take, like, you only have a short amount of time to really make an impression on somebody. So if the songs aren't right, why would I go from track 1 to 2 all the way down to the last one if your stuff isn't right? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it wasn't a race. When people work with labels and all of that, they got to deal with deadlines. For me, it was just when it was ready, then it was going to be ready. I was getting a lot of flack from friends because they knew, like, I had did a performance one night, so I was giving out like pieces of it, and people were just like, when can we download this? And I was just like, it's not ready yet. But I did not work on the I just didn't do it out of pressure.
Was that the night that I helped you get booked at Gizzy's for your birthday?
Yeah, that was exactly the night. That was my birthday / once again, Hood Ratchetness. That was my birthday, but then we spinned it around and turned it into a mixtape situation where I played some music for friends of mine, and we just had a great time. And once again, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That was one of the best birthdays I ever had. And
you guys can actually see the footage of that. If you go on YouTube, you could just type
in. Everybody listen up to this. You got to go to ericariola.weebly.com.
It's there.
And you'll find everything you need, everything in one place. ericariola.weebly.com. Everything is there.
Now, I have 3 titles right now that are going to spark somewhat of an interest in you. And I just want you to kind of give us a brief description of what each thing is. All right? You ready?
Okay.
First one, Chess Boxing.
Chess Boxing is an independent film that I shot about like 2 years ago. They tried to submit it to a lot of festivals. Still waiting back to hear from some stuff. But yeah, Rafiq Khan, that was the director. An amazing dude. Amazing dude. Shout out to him.
Conceal Her.
Concealer is a play that I did right after Pale Blue Light, right after with some people that I graduated with, along with some people like this dramaturg from the school, whatever. Beautiful play, got to star in it and all this other good stuff. It was difficult, but in the sense of the people, it was just like a lot, but I loved it.
And Paradigm Shift.
Paradigm Shift, that was the script that I was writing that I said that was really difficult, in terms of, not even difficult, but it was sad, so I had to come up with something to like change my life around, and Hood Ratchetness, those two things were born at the same time. I didn't get a chance to make that film. I'm still working on it, but one day it'll come into fruition. I'm really excited about that.
Now, one thing that, we're friends, but I'm actually ashamed of you in this aspect.
Wait, you said you're ashamed of me? Yes. Oh, well, welcome to the club. Let's do it.
I saw a video.
Okay.
And you were actually at 106 in Park, and that just turned me off, brother.
Goddamn BET. I can't even remember the last time I watched BET, man.
How was that experience there?
Back in the day.
How was the experience at 106?
How was the experience at 106?
Yeah.
I used to go there a lot with like one of my good friends, Tamika. Shout out to Tamika Phil, friends from high school, Health Opportunities High School. We would go there all the time, and so this is about the second or third time that I went, and I just wore this shirt that said, "Don't let history repeat itself." And it was a picture of Biggie and Pac, and at that time, it was when 50 Cent and Ja Rule were like beefing, and it was like on the news all the time. And so I wore it to 106 in Park. I wore it to school. People kept looking at me like that strange kid that, like you said, that they were ashamed and embarrassed. But then I went there, and then it was kind of different at 106 in Park. It was kind of like people like whispering and looking and whatever. So I'm sitting down, all of a sudden they start pointing at me like, "We like your shirt, AJ and Free." And so that was it. And then they went to commercial, and they said, okay, we're going to interview you about your shirt, all right? And I was like, okay, let's do it. And I was so excited and so happy. And, yeah, I mean, I love 106 Park. I still do. And they have this whole thing. One day, I was thinking about auditioning for it, but I said, no, I don't really feel like that is in my thing right now. I don't know. I just have so many things that I want to do. But,
Yeah, you shouldn't
yeah, I
do
love
that.
106 Park. Shout out to
Yeah, man.
106 Park.
I think if you're on BET now, it kind of damages your credibility.
Yo, BT
That's
ever
funny.
damages your credibility.
I mean, if I was there, I'd bring it back to like the way it used to be, or even better. You know what I mean? In terms of a host and really caring about music and caring about people and finding those people, because you don't have to be, let's say, like famous or a name for me to recognize that there's talent there, and also for me to recognize that, like, the way they spotted me with my shirt and gave me that moment, that made me hood famous for a little bit. I gotta say, you don't understand. I didn't think it was a big deal until I went out with some friends. Like, around that week when it came out, wow, it was crazy. People was like, that's that dude from 106 Park. And I was like, cool, where is it? AJ? And people were like, no, it's you. I was like, wow. But it was a good time. High school was a great time.
Now, you said
Great
something
time.
about your shirt, and I just want to touch on that real quick, because the shirt said, don't let history repeat itself, and it showed Biggie
Yeah.
and Tupac. And you mentioned that it was what, the 50 in jar rule, you know, the whole
Mhm.
beef thing. But that's a big misconception that I feel is still being hidden, and people need to realize the truth a little more. There's interviews, and I want you specifically, Eric Ariel, to look this shit up when we get off of the air. There's interviews with Biggie and Tupac, both about a week before each one was murdered, right?
Uh-huh.
And with Pac was Snoop, and with Biggie was Puff. And Snoop and Puff's face was exactly the same.
They knew something was getting ready to happen.
They knew that the person next to them, their friend, their boy, was about to get murdered because of what they were saying in that interview. And what they were saying in that interview is that there was no beef, that it was all the men in the suits, it was a marketing scheme, and to try to start a civil war again within communities in the United States, where you got the East Coast rival and the West Coast rival, and that helps sells records. So this whole thing was fabricated. Pac didn't kill Biggie Smalls, and Biggie Smalls didn't kill Pac. The government killed them both.
Actually, LAPD employees killed them both.
It wasn't each
Gotcha.
other. So
I
check
mean,
that
for
out.
me, all I can say is that, I mean, at the time, even when I did the 106 Park thing, I was 16 at the time. So, and I'm older now, and I still don't have any insight or, you know, any kind of inside scoop as to what happened to that story, even with working behind the scenes of some of that, like the projects or whatever. But all I can say is, at one point, you know what I mean, you turned on the TV, you walked by a newsstand, and that's all you saw. And so for me, that beef was very real. And even if it wasn't, like, let's say, if it was planned by somebody else and all of this stuff, at the same time, I still learned a lesson from it that, you know, the media, in a way, could, and I mean, this is something that I learned from school, you know, that they could manipulate and, you know, just arrange things so we could see it in a certain way. So even when I'm talking about not making the same mistake over, it could be about, that could be said about a lot of things.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You got to remember that.
Just don't drink the Kool-Aid. That's always been my thing, you know. Do your research.
There's
It's always been my thing.
six major
Yeah.
companies, corporations that control everything that you see and you hear, except Bud and Roach. But
Got you.
yo, Eric,
Yes.
where can we find your music again? Where can we find your work? Just shout it out
Sure.
one more time.
Just go. You guys can go to www.eric.weebly.com, and you can find everything you need to find on there. Yeah, everything.
Eric, again, if you guys want to see me and Eric's work on Pale Blue Light, you can go to palebluelight.tv. Episode 2 is coming out pretty soon. Actually, they cut up episode 1 into 6 mini episodes. It's like a mini series now. So episode 1 is actually season 1, and you can find it exclusively at the palebluelight.tv. And it's free.
Yeah.
You guys can go and you can check it out right now.
Absolutely free. You know what I mean? And a lot of work took to, you know, it was a lot of work that was done to get it to the people. So take advantage of it while it's still available. While it's still free.
Yeah. We worked long hours. It was fucking freezing cold. Like, we went through hell.
Freezing cold, and it was really hot. It was crazy, but I loved working on Pale Blue Light. I did.
One of the last things I'm gonna say right before we get off the air. Do you remember when we were shooting the the Gizzy scene.
Uh-huh.
And that was the day that the world was supposed to end. Some guy had said the world
Wasn't
was
that
gonna
the
end.
first day that we shot? That we were
Yeah,
the first day. Yeah, that was a
And,
lot of fun. That was not scary. Shooting on a day when the world is supposed to end.
Yeah,
But I don't believe
everybody's
that
saying at
craziness.
6
But it's
p.m.
just like think a little bit. You know what I mean? And that crazy guy walking up the street, neither here nor there.
Everybody's saying 6 p.m. the world's gonna end. And
Yeah.
Remember that? And then switched it to like October.
yeah, he switched it after. But at 5:50, I remember this. I saw about 50 Amish people just come out of fucking nowhere. Like, where you guys coming from? And they didn't have any purses or wallets or anything. They were walking into BBQs. I think they were hoping for the world to end so they could skip out on the bill.
Not me. That was the best day of my life. I was like, oh no, I'm working on the show. This would happen to me that day. It would be the last day, and I'm working now. But no, thank God we're still here.
The last day
and,
we were supposed to be alive, and we're in the street doing a scene with Big Daddy Kane and shit.
I know that. I mean, you can't ask for a better day. You know what I mean? Like, it was a great, memorable day.
And so is today, brother. And it was a pleasure having you on the show.
It was a pleasure being here on the show with you guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks to the whole fam that's listening. I really, really, really appreciate that.
Thank you for coming on, Eric, man. We appreciate you coming on, man. We're gonna get you back on. We need to get you to try that game.
Well, you gotta play the game.
Right,
we can even
wait.
dedicate a vlog to this. I'll follow you on a fucking camera if I have to. We're gonna make
All
this
right,
happen.
not a problem.
We're gonna take
We
a
might
quick
have to put
commercial
on
break.
too. That'd be fun.
We're gonna take a quick commercial break and we'll be back with the real world segment.